The divine presence of Spirit is nearer to us than our own breath. Our spiritual journey is guided by the infinite in every moment, no matter that we may forget. Spirit knows, sees, and remembers our perfection. Today, we celebrate our oneness in thought, in word, and in action. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to our celebration service. I'm Robert, and I'll be your practitioner for the day. Ran across this morning on my desk when I was getting ready to do my own meditation out on my patio. And it says, "Which one are you?" Someone has said there are only two kinds of people in the world. There are those who wake up in the morning and say, "Good morning, Lord." And there are those who wake up in the morning and say, "Good Lord, it's morning." So I ask, which one are you? This is our final Sunday in August, and we've been reading the Science of Mind textbook. And this month has been relatively easy, but extremely interesting. And it's reminded me of several of the different principles that we use here in Science of Mind. And in those core concepts, remember those core concepts, 1 through 10? How many remember? Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, some of us do. I had to look them up again. But those core concepts that we did in our foundation work. So what I want to do is review some of those, because 2 or 3 of those are ones that we actually used on every week throughout August. So the first principle: I believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in humankind, and that all people are incarnations of that one Spirit. And if you'll remember, this is core concept of oneness. Okay, so we are made of the same God substance, and we are all whole, perfect, and complete, just as we are. This is the truth of each and every single one of us. Through our right thinking, we create the vibrations that can prevent and heal appearances, images, or illusions. And we learned that in those treatments that Dr. Holmes provided to us in the Science of Mind. The second principle that we worked on this month was, I believe that God is personal to all who feel the indwelling presence. And which core concept was this? Wholeness. We each have the freedom of choice. We co-create our lives with Spirit by the choices we make. We choose what we want, and we trust that law to determine how our choice is to be manifested. This creative law within us is always working, and that is something that we always have to remember. The third principle that we worked with throughout the month of August is, I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And if you remember, this is the core concept of the Christ within. And we maintain that there is a power in the universe greater than we are, and that power is available to each and every single one of us, every moment of our lives. And last week we recognized that presence and power of Spirit that surrounds and engulfs each and every one of us. And we promised last week to ourselves to use this principle in our daily lives 24/7. So it brings us to this week. What are we talking about this week? Well, we're talking about law. And most of us know what the law is. We use that law every single day. And throughout my ministerial studies, law appears in almost every single religion. For instance, in the book of Moses, the Torah is full of all the laws that we have to obey. In the Upanishads, the law governs the karma and the process of reincarnation, if you believe that way. In the Kabbalah, or the Kabbalah, the law is seen as a guiding force in understanding how God works, and helps us to return to that oneness eventually. So it brings us to principle 4. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And this is the religious science core concept of reciprocal universe. We call this the law of mind. For every visible form, there is an invisible component. This means that we receive that what we receive corresponds to what we imagine and believe we can receive the law. Again, it is done unto us as we believe. Even if you're not aware of this law, it's still working in your life, and we have to realize that. In his writing entitled The Journey into Life, Ernest Holmes writes about the law, and I'm going to paraphrase some of this. He says, "The law of life compels that action and reaction equal each other, that the law serves us and then compels us to serve it. It is the once love and hate freedom and bondage. Because of itself, it is one law ready to create any form. It follows that no matter what the law now may be maintaining as being true about us, through a new process of thinking, we may so completely change its actions to alter the appearance." So that means that if we don't like the law, if we don't like what we're receiving, the law allows us to change that, and that's what's important about understanding how this law works. So let us pray. How great it is to know how the spiritual laws of the universe work, and that we can use them in our lives to co-create a better life. Using the law of mind, we co-create the abundance, the beauty, balance, freedom, love, joy, order, peace, power, unity, wisdom, and wholeness that we desire in our lives. All we have to do is to use this law correctly and welcome the good into our lives. We are so grateful to law of mind in our lives right now. We are also grateful for this center, which gives us a place to celebrate this knowingness. We are grateful to our ministerial staff, our practitioners, our volunteers, our congregation that makes this center possible. We are grateful for the study that enables us to continually move in that upward spiral of consciousness. Let us now move into a place of silence for a minute to set our intentions and let our desires be known to God. How blessed we are to have this study that provides us with a purpose-filled and meaningful life. How blessed we are to live a life of giving and receiving. How blessed we are to live in a world full of joy and peace. And as we bring this moment to a close, we gently bring ourselves back to our awareness in this room, knowing that as we use these principles correctly, we grow in consciousness, and each of us providing an example of a world that can work for everyone. And please join me in affirming this, and so it is. Thank you.